insane upsets. You saw the standings briefly earlier, and now we're diving into our first match of round 2. Team Liquid versus OFFSYDE. Oh boy, Papi, let's go. As you saw briefly there, it is Mana versus Uthermal, Cure versus Rex, and Clem versus Firefly. Whew, here we go, and yeah, Team Liquid coming in with quite a lineup, I should say. Remember, last week we were a little bit concerned. Last week, Clem did not show up. Clem was not a part of the lineup last week, and we were a little bit concerned. We were like, whoa, is something wrong? Maybe something came up for Clem not to be there. But as a reminder, Team Liquid still pulled through. You know, without Clem, with the power of a laser, with the power of Skillus, they did take down Psystorm Na'Vi. Team Liquid are one of the stronger teams in the Team League, especially upon picking up Cure. With the duality that is Cure and Clem, with the support of a laser, with the support of Mana and Skillus, they are a force to be reckoned with. But here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have Mana for Team Liquid. Oh. And in the bottom left, we have Uthermal for OFFSYDE. Now, Uthermal, he has rolled random. For those that are curious, Uthermal, he was a pro player back in the day. He was a Terran main back in his heyday, many years ago at this point, and now Uthermal does compete as random, and he has rolled Protoss. Oh boy. Meanwhile, I believe if you are in the chat, predictions? Yep, predictions are open. If you're in the chat, you have a minute. You have a minute or so to place your bets on who you believe is going to take this best of 2. As a reminder, this is a best of 2, not a best of 3. And this prediction is for this singular back and forth between Mana and Uthermal. We'll have predictions going throughout the broadcast for every single best of 2. And the ace match if we get there. So best of luck with those predictions. But yeah, alas, Uthermal rolling Protoss here. Uthermal, he's also an ex-teammate of Team Liquid. He was once on TL for quite a long time, actually, for many years. But nowadays, again, he is off. I mean, he was off on his own. Now he is offside. Not on side anymore. Aye. But we have our PvP. Now we're loading into Post-Youth. Post-Youth is a much larger map. The map pool known for more macro-oriented play. Despite that, yeah, we should be going for economic openers. Again, it's going to be Gate Expand versus Gate Expand. Both players are making their Zealots. The reason why they're making Zealots is because both players have probes to deny the expansion, to delay with pylon blocks, cyber blocks as well. So the Zealot is required to actually expand. If you want to be economic, if you want to be greedy, you need that Zealot. Behind this, it was double gas before expand as well, so we're going for our tech of choice, Stargate Opener. Now, if this was a standard PvP, I would assume Phoenix Wars. Both players went Stargate, both players scattered each other. Because both players know this, we should be seeing Phoenixes versus Phoenixes. But the reason why I say if this was a standard player, I would expect that. Uthermal is more varied than that. More than anything, as we've been watching and casting Uthermal these past couple of months, and his off races, or I guess I should say his play in general, he's very chaotic, he's very aggressive, he's very all-in. So I would not be surprised if Uthermal tries to mix things up and takes up in a different direction after his initial Phoenixes. Speaking of, Phoenixes are on the way. Like, I don't think Uthermal is going to be willing to embrace Phoenix Wars. Something that happened last night, or sorry, 2 nights ago in Kung Fu Cup. If you were here for it, you would know. But we casted Classic versus Max Packs. And Classic, he clowned over Max Packs. It was crazy. We were very impressed with how dominant Classic was looking. And in one of those games, we saw a dynamic where it was this same setup. Both players opened up Stargate, both players opened up Phoenix, and Classic, he hid a Twilight Council, he hid a Dark Shrine, and he was able to slip into DTs while Max Fax was unaware, and then the game ended. The game ended from there. So there are ways to try to catch your opponent off guard, even if you're entering Phoenix Wars, but it's not easy. Not easy to pull off. We'll see if we embrace it or not. Oh, as the second Adept has arrived, Uthermal not able to block that off, not able to stop that. With that, probes are going to be going down. We do get into the main base. 1 probe falls, but only 1, maybe a second worker, but barely a second probe does fall, but we'll clean this up. As Mana does confirm that Phoenixes are on the way. Meanwhile, Mana throwing down a second gateway, and we see why. Okay, I was expecting Uthermal to be the one to deviate, but no. Mana, this is a bold move. He's going for a gateway, he's going for a Twilight Council. It looks like Mana wants to switch into Blink Stalkers. Now, this is a risky thing to do. Again, when you're in the Phoenix Wars like this, Uthermal, he's about to take a Phoenix lead. He does already have a Phoenix lead. He could dive on this army, he could clean this up. And he's going, oh! Thinking about it. Thinking about that dive. He does see the tech. It looks like he's waiting for reinforcements. Second Stargate has been thrown. Now we dive on the first Phoenix. Good trade here for Uthermal. We knock mana down to 2 Phoenixes. And this is what is dangerous about... Oh, never mind. I was going to say this is what's dangerous about trying to deviate away from Phoenix Wars is your opponent can overwhelm you and can snowball out of control. And you just lose map control and lose control of your bases as well. But Uthermal, he cancels his second Stargate and he's going into a robo. This tells us that Uthermal, he also, I mean, he just saw the blink transition and he wants to respond. Now, this should be responding with Immortal production. This should be like Phoenix Immortal and getting to like a second robo into double Immortal production, for example. It would be a good way to make up for our lack of Blink Stalkers, because Blink would be far too late here if Uthermal tried to tech into his own Blink. Uthermal, he does slip in, gets an eye on the army, pivots away. There's that first Immortal in production, as we did mention. Again, it's a way to make up for your tech disadvantage or your mobility disadvantage that Mana would have with Blink Stalkers. Just massing up Immortals for his ground army. Still only 1 robo, not getting up to 2 yet. I imagine we're waiting for a 3rd Nexus before we can really afford that. Speaking of a 3rd Nexus, 3rd is delayed. Mana all over Uthermal here. Does shut that probe down. Does delay any kind of expansion. Adept is found. More mortals are on the way. Mana pushing out already here. Oh, this is a risky maneuver. As he moves out, he has not much at home to defend. But Uthermal's out of position. He might get into the middle and he's going to get probe kills. A lot of probes are going to go down, but Mana doesn't care. He's pushing across the map. And what is their home to defend? There's at least 1 Immortal. I think a 2nd Immortal, maybe. Only 1. We dive in the army. The Immortal goes down. The rest of the army as well. Boys are being pulled and we force a recall. We're doing a forcing that recall. Immortal pops out just in time. Phoenixes, they cannot push in though. We have reinforcing pylons. Yeah, 3 Stalkers at a time. We do force down the force field. We dive on top of the army. We focus down the Immortal once again. The Immortal is still alive in the mix of all of that, getting a lot of damage done. Finally, it goes down. Boys are being pulled. Getting very chaotic here, and it looks like Uthermal, he will defend. Yeah, he shuts down the Stalkers. The 3rd Immortal has arrived, and we cannot break this. We cannot break Uthermal. But he did lose 6 probes. With that mana, he's expanding back at home. Bearing in mind as well that Uthermal, he spent a lot of energy trying to lift up and break that army, and take some time. These Phoenixes, they're low on energy, they're low on HP, there's not many of them. But we are getting into another Immortal. We're getting into additional Immortal. Doesn't matter. Oh, we do trigger the shields. 2nd Immortal comes out just in time. Good force field from Uthermal. Phoenixes, they get across the map, they lift up, what is that, 4 probes. But Mana, he wants to go for the kill, does focus out the Immortal, gets 1. Boys are being pulled, can he get the 2nd Immortal in time? It looks like he barely will. Gets the Immortal, focuses down some sentries. Sentries are out of energy, and with this next wave of reinforcements, it looks like Mana is going to have too much to deal with. Again, these sentries, they barely have any energy. We dive on the army. The Immortal does pop though. Immortal does pop out. We force Mana out of the main base. Uthermal is barely holding on. But again, Uthermal, he barely has any supply or any Phoenixes left to really work with. Nothing for them to really do outside of killing probes, and they will get some worker damage done. Mana still ahead. Oh, we have the Archon as well, getting a lot of damage done. At a certain point, especially with this many Phoenixes, this many sentries, we may have to back off. Yeah, we do go for the recall. We catch the Phoenixes. Late reaction out of Uthermal. Bit of a delayed reaction. 3 Phoenixes survive. Mana backs off. Oh, and we pull the boys? I'm not so sure about this. Uthermal. Okay, doing his best Terran impression. We're pulling the boys. We're just all in at this point. We are completely all in, and Uthermal knows this, so there's no longevity, there's no coming back in this game. Not anymore. You don't often see probes pulled in this matchup for good reason. We have Archons already, so the probes are going to get annihilated by the Archons. Phoenixes can do well, but likewise Archons can knock those down as well. We only have one Archon, to be fair. If we had 2 or 3, I'd be a little more skeptical of this. Yeah, the overcharge is popped. You can see Uthermal just ram his face up against a brick wall. Mana will not be broken. Not here. Probes are going down. He holds quite comfortably here on top of the ramp. Decent force fields here on the Zealots. Very nicely done. Yeah, but we can break through nonetheless. Yeah, another Archon does arrive. We shut down the force fields. We break through the probes. GG gets called, and Mana will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Mana, bold move is what I will say. It was a bold move for Mana to attempt to go for a transition out of Phoenixes to head into Blink Stalkers, and I was concerned that it wasn't going to work after the first failed push. After he like dove in, got an immortal, but had to back off. Like Uthermal, he was barely holding on, and then barely wasn't holding on. Every time Mana came in, he sniped 1 or 2 immortals, sentries over and over again, and you saw that Uthermal was stuck on too many Phoenixes, or I should say, he was in this weird position where he had a decent Phoenix count, but unfortunately he spent a lot of energy across the map lifting up probes. So when he did come back home, he had limited energy to work with. The Phoenixes had just limited viability there because of that, and in the end, Mana did overpower. GG, well played. Mana takes game 1, and the pressure is now on Uthermal for game number 2. The pressure is on. Now, Uthermal's map of choice is going to be Alcyone, but what's important is that we don't know what race Uthermal's going to land on, and neither does Uthermal. Like, he has no idea. So, he's going to have to kind of come up with the strategy on the fly, like kind of off the cuff here. How does he approach Mana? He has to have a plan with his Zerg, his Terran, and his Protoss. Oh boy. Now, thankfully, Alcyone is one of the larger maps. The map pool is very macro oriented, but here we go. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have Mana for Team Liquid. And in the top right, we have his opponent. We have Uthermal for Offside. Here we go. And we have once again rolled the dice, and ooh, it is a PvP. This is unfortunate for Uthermal. Oh boy. Again, Uthermal, when it comes to specific races and matchups, like I do favor his Terran in general. His Terran is, I would say, his strongest matchup overall. I would say his strongest. Protoss isn't too bad. I would say that his Protoss is his second strongest matchup. But a PvP against Mana is brutal. Like Mana, he is a veteran of the region, of the scene. He's been competing for a very, very long time. Mana here from the beginning, if not almost the beginning of Wings of Liberty. There were even times where he was one of the best players outside of Korea, one of the best foreigners out there, and in a big way did pave the way for the rest of the Polish scene as well to rise up behind him. Did pave the way for players like Geralt, players like Christianer, even players like Spirit, and even a Laser, I would say. So we'll see. We'll see what Uthermal has, as Mana is going for a Gate Expand. Ooh, bold move. So Gate Expand set up here from Mana. Uthermal doing the same. Uthermal going for the gateway on the high ground instead, so the natural is a little bit less protected. It's a little bit more exposed, more vulnerable. And Mana is going for a delayed expansion. He went double gas, so Mana's going for a faster Stargate into a delayed expansion. Uthermal will have a better economy, and will have a bit of a later Stargate himself. I'm assuming it's going to be Stargate, but we'll see. Ooh, second gateway. Okay. Second gateway instead, which means this will not be the beginning of Phoenix Wars. It's going to be, I imagine, Blink-based play out of Uthermal. Stargate, of course, out of Mana. With this Stargate, we can go into an Oracle first. And then we'll see where Uthermal goes from here. We shall see. As is that Oracle that we spoke of, Mana now going for his expansion. We're still waiting for the tech of Uthermal. Once he has the gas for it, we can see whether it's a Twilight Council or not. And there it is, Twilight Council opener out of Uthermal. So straight up Blink play from the red Protoss. Mana, he's getting there eventually. I imagine we should be seeing a delayed Twilight Council from Mana or a Robo. We'll see. But now he's waiting for his Oracle. So you can see that Mana has Sword Depths on the left-hand side. He's going to have an Oracle on the right. He's even going for a second Oracle as well. Mana doubling down. Mana, he believes he can try to test the limits of Uthermal's multitasking. Commits to the shade. Gets one probe. Going to look for a second probe as well. Oracle slips into the main base. There are units in position, thankfully. We focus on probes nonetheless. 6 workers go down. Oof, just barely. Almost getting a 7th shield battery under fire. It's going to get picked up by the Zealot, actually. Impressive. Zealot gets a shield battery. Adepts get shut down, but good trades here from Mana. I believe he kept his Oracle alive. Yep, he did. 2 Oracles, 1 shot probes. And now they're diving on in. Looking for a way in, but alas, Thermal's in position. Regardless, we get 3 probe kills. You can get a 4th. That's going to be 10 kills in total. 6 earlier, 4 now. Did I say 10? 11, as I believe that other probe was a scouting probe early on. So 11 probe kills in total. Very nice damage dealt here by Mana. And he recalls back home. Behind this, remember, Mana's going for delayed blink. It is a little bit later than his opponent, but it's late by a couple of seconds. Like, not the biggest of deals. Technically, Uthermal does have a timing. He's got like a 20-second timing or so, where he has blink and his opponent doesn't, but not the biggest of deals. And Mana is just setting up back at home, throwing down stasis traps, making better use of his oracles. And it's on Uthermal to try to recover. And what I mean by that is Uthermal, he has a couple of different options. He has to either be really greedy to catch back up economically, he has to harass across the map with the depths or with Blink Stalker play to catch back up economically, or go for an all-in. Like, in a mirror matchup especially, it is brutal taking an economic deficit and losing workers. Hallucination comes in, Scout is denied. At least Uthermal does confirm the 3rd. So Uthermal is aware of the 3rd base at least. And he has to make a choice. There it is, going for a 3rd of his own. Okay. Going for our own 3rd base. More stasis traps being set up. Laying traps for Mana to make use of as he moves out. Forge is on the way for +1. Yeah, reinforcing pylon on the right-hand side. Mana, he knows that he had the economic lead, and that leads into an army supply lead. And he's pushing. Now there are sentries, there are force fields. Speaking of, we dive on top of the army. And we focus on Stalker after Stalker. Shield battery doesn't help. We're getting one shot. And Uthermal, he's being overwhelmed. You do have Oracles diving into the natural base as well. Good defense by Uthermal. Does defend, does hold onto his mineral line, but alas, here, the main force, the main army, it's crumbling. We do barely hold on though. We do barely hold. Mana going for another big wave of reinforcements. You can see Uthermal, he's got charge on the way, he's got +1 on the way as well. The game goes on longer, we can try to recover. As I say that, good target firing here from Mana. Does focus down almost every single Stalker. There's 3 Stalkers left. And you can see that Mana is just overwhelming. He's just making sure that Uthermal never amasses an army. Making sure that he just has nothing to work with. Upgrades are still on the way for Uthermal. Once again, just one-shotting Stalkers. GG gets called. It's just too much, and Mana will take the series 2-0. A strong lead here for Team Liquid. GG. GG, Bobby Mana. Excited, happy about that win as well. GG, well played. Mana with the 2-0. Again, Mana did come in as the favorite more often than any other tournament because of loser's pick. It's such a big factor here. Liquid has 2 ace players. They have Cure and Clem. But here we go in the bottom left-hand corner. We have Cure for Team Liquid. And in the top right-hand corner, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player Rex for Offside. Go Rex. Oh, Sheldon's here, Papi. Oh my god. Where's the GeoGuessr? Where's the GeoGuessr? Give Spanish intro. No, Papi, no. No Spanish intro today. But for now, we're settling in. Again, we're on Alkion. It's one of the larger, more macro-oriented maps in the map pool. I don't expect anything too crazy here in game number 1, but we'll see. We'll see what Rex has to offer. I'm ready. I'm excited. For now, it's going to be a Hatch Gas pool, a standard opener here from our Red Zerg player. Likewise, Cure going for his standard opener as well. There's no proxies, there's no like 2 racks Reaper or 3 racks Reaper or anything like that. We're just settling on in game number 1. Oh. And as we settle in, a big shout out to our sponsors as well of the tournament. Shout out to Bio, Autofull, Doyu, and SC. Boy, without them, we wouldn't have all these amazing tournaments. We wouldn't have WTL, wouldn't have Kung Fu Cup, wouldn't have Masters Coliseum. We would not have Stars of War 11 either. Gee, again, there's a lot of events coming in thanks to SC Boy and their sponsors, so much love, much love. Always much love to SC Boy and their team. They do a lot for StarCraft. They do quite a bit. As we're settling into our game here, again, we have our rack expand CCs on the way. Rex still getting to his own opener as well. We're going to see a bit of a dance between the Reaper and the units of Rex. And Cure is going to be doing his best to try and disrupt the economy, disrupt the third base. But overall, we should be able to settle into our game. I do remember Rex popping off the previous week against Mystery Gaming as well. It didn't look too bad against Cyan, as that was last week. But for now, here we go. The Reaper does dip in. Just dancing with those lings. I say that I may have just blinked at the wrong moment. Did we kill a drone? I think one worker did go down, so an unfortunate pick-off there for Rex. Not the best start there, but not the biggest of deals. Behind us, we do have link speed on the way. Akira going for his 3rd CC before starport, so an economic follow-up here from our Terran player. Does get eyes on the 3rd, but at least the 3rd is up and running. Is going to be disturbed too much. And the Q's just trying to get a read on Rex. Speaking of Rex coming into this series, coming into Cure, I'm sure he's coming in with a plan. There are a couple of different kind of playstyles you can approach in ZVT. You can go Roach based, you can go Roach Ravager into something like a Lurker transition. Later on, you go Lingbane into Ultras, Lingbane Hydra, a more standard combination or a more standard composition as well. We have seen Rex indulge in Roaches before, many a time actually, even in Mutas as well. So I'm not leaving that off the table, as Cure is going for a 3cc into Banshee, as standard can be. Cure is playing very by the book. It's Hellions and Reapers that hit the field, they clean up the links, being active on the map. Meanwhile, Rex just droning up and trying to maintain himself and try to defend against the initial Hellion Reaper. So far, so good. Waiting for you, Papi. Ah, Papi. One day we'll play GeoGuess here again. As Kira rotates around, gets a tumor. Not bad. Does manage to get a tumor. More Hellies are amassing. Lair first here from Rex, but that's a 4-minute 30 lair timing. Shouldn't be for anything too crazy. Imagine just lair first, into a Bailey Nest, into 1-1 Evo chambers. As we do see Kira is investing into Cloak, and is not playing mech, thankfully. We have seen Kira play mech before, but not here, not tonight. So Rex isn't cutting any corners, he's playing pretty straight up. What I mean by that is that Rex had the option to perhaps go into double Evo chamber, instead of going for the fast lair, or the 4-minute 30 lair timing. Instead, again, lair first, into a Bailey Nest, into Bailing speed, into delayed 1-1 upgrades. Rex just making sure it doesn't get caught off guard. Likewise, Banshee's moving out on the right hand side. Looks like they will come across the 4th base. But there are Queens in position, we have an Overseer in production as well, we should be okay. Yeah, the Banshees are revealed. But you do get a couple of hits in, but Rex is in position. Would you defend? There's that double Evo chamber that we spoke about. There's that Bathing speed that we spoke about as well. We are lacking Queens in the main. We'll get some damage done. But overall, Rex is holding his own. Is holding his own here. Bobby means buddy, my man. Bobby means, as Kuro is stating in the chat, as Seki is stating in the chat, it directly translates to something like daddy. But Bobby is used kind of like bro. Like when you say bro in English, you don't mean brother. Like you don't mean, oh, you're like, you know, my actual brother. But like that's kind of what it means. It's like a friendly term, you know. If that's what you mean. As we do see Kira pushing through the center, amassing his marine or his bio tank. Behind this, Stim is done. Combat shields on the way. 1-1 about to finish up. As Kira is taking his 3rd base. He's now going to be committing to his push. Again, we've had kind of like a passive start to the game. Like some light Banshee harass, some light Hellion harass. But here comes the main push through the right-hand side towards the 4th hatchery. Base tanks, they do siege up at the same time. Rex sending out a lot of links here for a counterattack. They get sent out towards the left-hand side. The bio doesn't get much done, but we have plenty of reinforcements back at home. Kira, he is waiting for the push, for the aggression. Ooh, he's paying attention as well. Good target firing on those Banelings. Kira shuts down the counterattack, and Rex has to focus everything here on this main defense. Rallying his Ling Bane. Hydras are on the way. And can Rex deal with this before the reinforcements get to Kira's army? So far, Rex once again going for another counterattack. Does distract some of those reinforcements, keeping Kira back. He's amassing more Ling Bane. There is only the one tank here for Kira, but there are Hellbats to support. Rex setting up a surround. Yeah, and Rex, he should collapse on this. Plenty of Ling Bane. The Hellbats, they can be a nuisance against the Lings. But the Banelings, they crash on it. We shut down the push. At the same time, Kira going for a double drop on the right and the left-hand side. Oh, he's going for the 5th. He's going for the 5th base, and it's going to be cancelled. I assumed... Oh, I think that was a kill. I think that was a kill in the hatchery. Uh-oh. As guys, it goes down. So far, Rexy is keeping up. As I say that, good target firing. 7 drones go down. And Curie does pick up. He is pulling Rex apart quite a bit here. Ay, ay, ay. With that, Curie takes an economic lead. His macro is still untouched behind this, just rallying across the map. He's got 3 forces out. A drop outside the main, a drop outside the 5th. Now he's pushing in towards the gold. Oh, the mine shots! Good splits by Rex. He does avoid disaster there with those Widow Mines. Kiora consolidating his army. Oh, never mind, still going for that tri-pronged attack. You can see on the minimap another force moving out to reinforce as well. Another wave of units on the way. And there are no lurkers, bear that in mind. It's just Lingbane Hydra and very limited crease spread. Rex getting in position here at the gold. Scandals reveal the Banelings. Here pushes in. Banelings roll in. How good are the mine shots? They are good. Oh my god, the connections! Massive connections on Lingbane. The most of the bio does escape, does get away. And Curie's maxed. He's maxed out. Rex struggling to max out himself. Drop coming in, shutting down some creep. And the mine shots were insane. 3 threes on the way. And we're getting into ghost production. Curie, he's getting ready for would-be lurkers. Lurkers or ultras. But really, it's none on the way here for Rex. He's not there yet. And Curie is. There we go. The drop outside the main base finally becoming active. And distracting Rex. Gets a gas geyser. We get a kill on the gold base. Good target firing. Ling's going down. A very nice trade there for Curie. Shuts down every single Ling. Rex stuck on 4 bases. Curie's taking his own 5th. It's not just a 5th, by the way. Curie's taking a gold. The gold base is getting up and running here for Cure. Hive just started up for Rex. Again, if Rex can somehow get to Lurker Tech, he can hold. Lurker Den is on the way. Oh my god, Cure. The target firing once again. Snipes the Baneling, shuts down the Lings. Forces Rex back. And that Lurker Den, it feels a little bit too late here. We did need to see that up and running a little bit sooner. Regardless, can Rex buy time? As the 5th base is going to be denied once again. The mine shots! Ooh, big connections. Ay, insane connections on the Lingbane. I think that's another kill on the hatchery, by the way, on that 5th. Cure just relentless here in his aggression. Nuke is on the way. I don't even think we need nukes, but sure, why not? Nuke is in production. Cyclone's on the way. Part of me feels like that might be a bit of a misclick. That's another kill, not again. I think that's the 3rd kill on the hatchery. But sure, we have some Cyclones on the way. Neil still frames, high-sec auto tracking. I'm pretty sure those were meant to be more Widow Mines, but it's fine. As Rex is finally shutting down some of these medevacs. Speaking of, medevac goes down. We clean up the Marines. But at this point, Curie doesn't care. Does take some Banelings to the face. Not the best trade from Cure, but he will break this gold once again. Containing Rex to 4 bases. Never allowing him to expand. And there's that nuke. We are making use of it. Going for the natural. Decent surround there by Rex, but Curie just lifts up. He gets away. Rex, he does notice the nuke. He will pull back. But regardless, we're still stretching the attention of Rex thin. He is barely holding on. Impressive that he has held on for now. Like, he's been able to deflect enough pushes to survive. And, I mean, Hayes, once again, getting his 5th base up and running on the left-hand side. This time it looks like it should get up. But Curie's still max. He's getting into liberated production behind this. As we mentioned before, at this point, even if we did make a wave of lurkers, it wouldn't matter. We have ghosts, we have libs. Liberator range is on the way. 3-3 as well, or already done. Getting into +3 vehicle plating. Now what's interesting is that Cure this entire game has never gone for like a frontal assault. He hasn't like consolidated his army and gone for a main push. He's been going for these split pushes perpetually throughout the entire game. And I mean, it's working. But that's why he has been able to just have a decisive fight where he can just break Rex and keep pushing. Ooh, once again, massive mine shot. But he has just been picking away at the flanks of Rex. Once again, that's what, a 4th kill on the hatchery? Ay, ay, ay. I've lost, it's either 4 or 5 at this point. I'm so counting. Oh no. We have a Nidus on the way. Let's go! Rex has a Hail Mary play, going for the Nidus across the map. With the Mass Lurker. If he can somehow maybe get into the main base, maybe get on top of the production, it's possible. Yeah, there's that Overseer. The Overseer is being active. Ooh, does take a mine shot to the face. I was pushing forward. There we go. Nidus into the natural. Well, the best we can hope for is a base trade. It's the best we can hope for. So we do collapse in the army. Big mine shots going off in the Lings. Oh my god. Lurkers, they do come in across the map. We have liberation zones. We have freedom. The freedom is here. The freedom is everywhere across the map and back at home. Yeah, liberation zones are set up. They annihilate. They rain down on the Lingbane Hydra and the Lurkers as well. And there's just no good. There's no good answer. There's no good answer to libs. There's no Vipers, no Corruptors. Lurkers desperately busting into the main base, doing what they can, and they are getting damage done. They get 15 SCVs. Is good damage, but there's no way out for these Lurkers. It is a one-way trip. And Curie just keeps pushing across the map. Again, this is the best case scenario for Rex. Is trying to force a base trade, but oh my god, so many Lurkers go down. One Lurker survives, and even then, will fall. Here come the Vipers. We get to those libs. But where is the Libbane? Lingbane even. GG gets called, and Cure will take game number 1. GG. A solid performance there out of Cure. Rex, really, he was fighting to survive more so than anything, and he was holding, he was surviving, he was able to maintain his 4-base setup at least. But Rex could not get a 5th. It took him far too long to get a 5th base up and running, so he couldn't afford 3-3, couldn't afford to max out, couldn't afford spellcasters, couldn't even afford lurkers either. Like, it was just, yeah, he was just a little bit too much there for Rex to handle. And Cure looking strong in that first game, but this is the power of WTL. Game 2, loser's pick. It is loser's pick here. Rex has a chance to bounce back with his map of choice, and we're going for Golden Aura. Interesting. Okay, so Rex, he is not above going for Roach-based all-ins, and I could definitely see that working here on a map like Golden Aura. Otherwise, I'm curious to see what he has to offer here. Again, I'm sure he's a man with a plan. A lot of these players, they have just a WTL to look forward to every single week, and they spend a lot of time practicing, refining, and preparing a build specifically for their opponent. Oh boy. So what do you have for us, Rex? What do you got? I'm ready for it. Here we go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have Cure for Team Liquid. And in the top left, we have his opponent. We have Rex for Offside. Here we go. Catching him with the chat. Light is all of our daddy. Because no pull out. You're an animal, pup. I haven't streamed in so long. A lot of people probably don't understand what that even means. Is it a command here? Exclamation mark pull out. Oh, it's not, thankfully. It's fine, Poppy, it's fine. Leave it ambiguous. As I settle into our game, it's going to be a hatch gas pool. Once again, standard open out of Rex. I mainly keep my eye on Rex. Mainly my eyes on our Zerg player here, as they are the underdog coming into this. It is on Rex to punch up. I'm ready. I'm excited. That one works, though. True, true. Well, it has only one way, and that's in. Oh, I feel like I have to explain myself. There's a meme in my channel, so I do stream, or I used to stream on my personal channel, Live VIP on Twitch, and I haven't streamed in like over a month. I haven't had the time to ladder, unfortunately. I miss it. I'll ladder again one day. But pull out refers to pulling out of gas. That's what it refers to. Like when you play Zerg, in a lot of matchups, at times you're meant to pull out. You're meant to pull out at certain supplies or certain timings to be more efficient. And I was so awful at pulling out, it became a meme. It sounds weird, it's fine. Don't worry about it. That's what it's in reference to. And there's a command on my channel for !mark pull out. It's true. But for now, Reaper dips in, dancing with the Lings. If you remember in game 1, we did get one drone kill, but this time, Rex, he will defend, he will secure his position. Reaper gets zoned away. Cure behind this, going for a third CC before Starport. Going for a 3CC opener, very economic. Exactly, yes, the sound. Shaking my head, shaking my head. Look, it's not so easy pulling out, okay? It's not easy, but aye. It's harder than it looks. As, once again, the same build. Cure is going for the exact same build 2 games in a row. Third CC into a Starport, into, I imagine, Banshee play. Which is kind of what we expected out of Cure. Like, no big deviation from him. He is the favorite player coming into this. No reason to really mix things up too much. As we're just pointing out here, yeah, the Starport on the way, there's a Tech Lab on the racks. Should be going for an add-on swap for the eventual Banshee play, which will make a lot of sense, especially if you fear Roach-based like aggression. Banshees are ideal against that to shut any kind of Roach play down. As Rex is going for an earlier lair. Oh, man, that is a 3:55 lair timing, by the way. If you remember, for a bit of context or a comparison, last game was a 4:30 lair timing. 4:30 lair timing to get into a Bailey nest halfway through. Here, much earlier lair, much earlier nest. I'm curious what this is going to be for, though. Like, again, you wouldn't invest this quickly into a lair without good reason. We're taking 4 gases, 2 base muta. Are we feeling 2 base muta, papi? Aha. Rex. I mean, we have the gas for it. We haven't gone into any Evo chambers. Rex is amassing a lot of gas. Show us the Spire. This is when he just does something crazy. He goes for a infestation with like Swarm Host or something. True. But there we go. The lair is now done. We have the gas for it. And show us the tech. Show us what you got. As Rex is droning, Hellions rotating around. We should be throwing down either a Spire or a Hydroden or anything at this point. There it is. There's a Spire. Okay. Spire gets thrown down. I think it's in the natural. There is a building in the main. To be fair, I'm not quite certain where it is. There it is. There we go. It's in the natural. So the Spire has been thrown down. It is going to be 2 base muta. Again, with the fast lair. That's kind of what we assumed. And Cure is in the dark. Cure, he is unaware of what is going on. For now, at least. Banshees are soon going to be pushing in. Hellions have been very passive. Cure, he's barely tried to push into a mineral line or push into a base. So Cure is working with very incomplete information. Cure is still piecing it together. So far, Rex is doing a good job at keeping him in the dark. Achievements are being shut down. Alien Banshee rocking up. Now, what's scary here is that I believe Cure is still going for a push at 7 minutes. Just like the last game, I believe with Stim, with the first tank, with Marines, and even Hellbats, we are going to be pushing in. As the hatchery takes a lot of hits. Up! Up! Can we get it? Whew, we cannot. The hatchery does survive. Just barely, and mutas are on the way. Just before the 7-minute push. Okay. You have my attention. Here we go. So 10 mutas are in production. They're going to be getting across the map. It's going to be close here as Cure is going to be getting ready for his own push. There it is. We spoke about it before, but this is the same push he went for in game 1. We're going to have Hellbats to work with. We're going to have Marines, tanks. There's that there's the armory on the way. Now, as Cure moves out, Rex is going to be moving in. Now, mutas, they struggle to defend against these earlier pushes, so we need to use them to harass, and ideally we force Cure to turn back around and come back home. And the mutas, they come in! SCVs are going down! And what is it to defend? A handful of Marines. A decent amount of them, to be fair. We collapse on top of this. Marines are going down. We force Cure to turn around. He does race back home. This is what Rex wanted, what he needed. And we're not done. 7, 8, 9, 10 SCVs going down here in the natural. Rex, he's popping up. Oh, he has to be careful. Does have to take care here. 13 SCVs go down. And again, it's not just 13 SCVs, it's also Cure racing and turning his entire army around. It means that Rex, his 4th base, is safe back at home. He's getting into his 5th, he's droning up, getting into his Ling Bane. Now remember, Rex's upgrades have been delayed in favor of this. Banelings, they do roll in though! Yeah, they bust into the mineral line. SCVs and mules going down, 19 workers fall, and the tank! Oh my god. Did I say 19? 25 SCVs go down. Cure with a massive supply block as well. We get on top of the medevac. We don't quite get it. But again, Cure caught completely with his pants down. And this is Rex's moment. Ooh, we'll bleed out a muta. Bit of a misstep there. But Cure, he's in trouble. Cure is in a lot of trouble right now. Rex going for the gold? He's crazy. Calm down. Oh my god. But yeah, he's just amassing more Ling Bane. It looks like Rex is ready for a counterattack. He's assuming that Cure is going to be pushing. The Cure is all in. So we're just getting ready for the counterattack right now. Now is not the time to go across the map with Banelings. It is going out with mutas. Yeah, but Cure is committed. Hellbats are morphing in. Tank does siege, and we're going for the hatchery. At the same time, ooh, one muta goes down. Wings, they come in for the run by. Nothing to defend. SCVs are falling. And the mutas, they take control of the 3rd base. Now, Rex may have lost the base, but it doesn't matter. That hatchery did not matter. He saw 4 bases compared to the 2-base setup of Cure. Rex, that's a lot of Banelings. We have to make them count. See Rex trying to catch reinforcements. Cure is still committed. And Rex knows that. He knows that all he has to do is defend. All he has to do is survive. Thor has arrived. Cure supply blocked as well. Aye, aye, aye. Rex, he's so close. He catches a tank. The tank. Oh, God. Quick moves there on a Cure. Does get away. Doesn't manage to get away in the end. We can see Rex setting up for a surround as well. Yes, be careful, there are Widow Mines involved. We saw how brutal those mines can be in game 1. How devastating they are. We do catch the Thor. On the mine shots. Decent connection on some of the Banelings. Decent mine shot. 1 Thor does go down. But again, Cure, even though he's down in supply, he has a more efficient army. He has a very efficient army with 2-2. You have to be careful when Cure, he gets a base. Ooh, he gets the 4th. That is pretty huge, actually. Does collapse on that 4th hatchery. We can see Rex going across the map. Cure arguably has a better economy than Rex. It's 3 base versus 3 base. Rex trying to get a 4th. That 3rd is getting up and running. We have to do something about it. There are so many mines, though. Yeah, the mine shots go off. We get into the mineral line. Yeah, very necessary damage. Rex, he annihilates that mineral line. 12, 13, 14 SCVs go down. So at least Cure is still only on a 2 base economy, not 3. Very important here for Rex. That's 15 SCVs. More Thors are amassing. We can see Cure pushing out once again. Remember, his goal is to just contain Rex to 3 bases. Or just commit. Big Thor volley. Cure gets caught. Does siege. Only one tank, not many Widow Mines. Not any Widow Mines, actually. Oh, they're back at home. The Widow Mines are back at home. Rex does have to take care. Oh, you can see Cure catching up in army supply. He has been very efficient with his army. He's been building it up. Cure has a supply lead. Uh-oh. Cure, he has the army supply lead. Rex is in a bit of trouble. That 4th base is going to go down. Rex, he cannot contest. He has to give it up. Yeah, counter-attacking is his best bet. Mine shot. Oh! Doesn't quite go off. There we go. Forcing friendly fire. Ooh, big mine shot there on the detection, on the Overseer. But it looks like we do take control of the 3rd. Turret goes down. Banshees finally go down as well, this time with detection. A clean micro there out of Rex, pulling away. Forcing back the entire army. And what's important here is that Rex, this time he didn't just kill workers, he also cleaned up Widow Mines, got the Banshees. What's scary though is that looking at Cure's army, he can still A-move. Or I should say, he can still all-in. He can still all-in and still win with it. Like, this is still a very tense game. But again, shout out to Rex for making it tense, for making it close. We spoke about it. The advantage of the loser's pick. Rex came in with a plan, came in with 2 base muta. Did pay off. But he hasn't won yet. Oof. That muta goes down, we catch some lings. Rex bleeding out quite a bit here. We can see Cure expanding towards the left-hand side instead. Taking the linear 3rd. Oh! We catch more mutas. Ooh, these are rough losses. These are expensive losses here for Rex. You can see that Rex is burning through his bank. That's a lot of Bailings. That is a lot. That's like 1-to-1. Bailing for Marine. But I can also see those Bailings dying to a couple of mine shots. Like, this is... It's still going to be close. Marines get shut down. Cure pushing on 2 fronts. He kills the 4th hatchery once again. Rex in trouble. Cure, he's down to 38 SCVs. Oh, and here we go. Cure pulling back, going for a drop into the main. We do catch some Marines. Good pickoffs here by Rex. Good pickoffs. And remember, this is Cure with 3-3, by the way. Rex is only just now working on his hive. So Rex, he has the upgrade. Sorry, Cure has the upgrade advantage. Cure has the army supply lead. Oh, we catch out more mutas. Oh, this is not a good start. Rex. And because of the rush distance by ground, it doesn't take long at all to reinforce. Rex going almost pure Bane. Hoping to catch the army of creep. And we're committing. It's all or nothing. Bailey's they roll on in. They collapse on the Marines. Mine shots go up. Decent connections, but it was only the 1 Widow Mine. We clean up the tanks. We clean up the Thors. Yeah, Cure does not have enough. Most of the Widow Mines were back at home to defend. They were not in the main army. There's 1 Widow Mine left. There we go. We're reinforcing. That was a good fight for Rex. Does take down most of the key units. Meanwhile, Cure getting back into Bio Widow Mine production. His 3rd base is up and running. Cure, he has an economy. Gold base is going to be cancelled. Rex finally has an expansion, has a 4th. But we need to do something about this 3rd of Cure as he's double expanding, lifting up his main base. Taking it as a 4th. This is dangerous. This is dangerous for Rex. Cure now has an economy. Rex, he's on 1 base. He's running out of resources at his natural and his 3rd. Do you like this though? Rex going into the main. Takes down some turrets, gets a Widowmine. Oh, Kira going for a drop across the map. Lings, they get in! Get into the mineral line. ACVs are going down. We deny mining as best we can. At the same time, Kira dropping across the map as well. Rex not where he needs to be. That hatchery getting so low so quickly. We do hold on to it, just barely. Mutas, they go back into the natural. Kira not in position. We get a meta back. Not bad. And more SCVs. Rex, he's doing it. Barely. He cleans up the drop. Looks like Kira's going for another drop towards the left-hand side. I don't think Rex is quite in position. Does need that base. Medivacs, oh, almost get caught out. Kira, calm down. Investor's on the way. Kira's pushing. Rex with a little bit of lapse in macro here. Rex has resources, but he's not quite maxed out yet. Does he want ultras? Oh. Yeah, there we go. Ultras are on the way. But the ultras, they need time. Rex still getting to 3-3, still getting to guidance plating. Lings, they bust in. Where's the Widowmine? It's not here. No Widowmine to defend. SCVs are going down. Kira himself having a hard time keeping up with the harass. Does have a hard time. As the Mutas, they come back in, they go for the CC. Rex, he loses control of his fourth. Fourth hatchery falls. Rex, he had a backup fit though. Did have a backup base. Ultras have arrived. Rex now with a tech advantage because as Rex has ultras, we don't have any marauders. Oh, there's no marauders, there's no ghost either. Kira's working like mainly Marine Widowmine. Like purely Marine Widowmine at this point. And Medevac. Oh, massive mine shots! Rex flies into the Widowmines, massive shots go off, but doesn't matter. It may. Ay, ay, ay. Kira's going for the kill. He's going for the natural. That's a lot of Widowmines being set up. Ultras are on the way. How good are the mine shots going to be? They're going to be good. Yeah, big connection on the Lings, but we get a fungal up. The Mutas, some of them have arrived. What little is left, we can chase out these Medivacs. Oh, Mutas are being targeted. So we have a fungal. Oh, Corruptors are coming out. We clean up the army. And it looks like Rex, he has done it. Yes, Rex, he loses 18 drones and he will lose control of the bottom left. The goal base goes down, but Rex, he has an army. He can keep going. He can keep pushing. Widowmines are setting up. It's a good amount of Widowmines, but Rex, massive fungal on the army, collapses on the Marines. There's no escape. There's no way out of this. Marines get shut down. SCVs as well. And GG gets caught. Rex has done it. Fafi, ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. Rex, he bounces back and he ties up the series 1-1 between himself and Kyor. GG. With a smile on his face. Thumbs up, Fafi. Thumbs up. GG, well played. Rex able to bounce back here against Kira. Again, a man with a plan. We spoke about it. This is the power of the WTL format. Rex, he came into Golden Aura with a plan. It was 2-base Muta. Remember, he went for a 4-minute or a 3:55 layer timing straight into 6 gases. Into Spire play, into Muta play, and he hit just before the 7-minute push. Just before the tank push, he hit. He forced Kira to turn back around, and Kira also lost, what was it, like 15 SCVs? He lost a big chunk of workers. He was forced back home. Rex, he gained some momentum. Despite that, it was still back and forth. It was still a very tense game. Kira, he fought his heart out there. Even though Kira did not have an economy, he made sure that Rex also didn't have an amazing economy either. Rex could not take a fourth, as Kira could not take a third. So very tense game, very tense in the end, and GG, well played. Rex does take it, does give Offside a chance at redemption. And I want to believe, Fabi, because up next we have Clem versus Firefly. Let's go. Did anyone believe? No one. I see in the chat, no one bet on Rex even taking a game last series, I think. Did anyone bet? No, one person did. 10K goes to what? Let's go. One person believed in the 1-1 score. No one believed in our Discord. I know that much at least. But now we're getting ready for Clem versus Firefly. Our final best of 2 of this series. Let's have a look at those predictions. Bam! I think they're still being set up. I think that's the last series' predictions. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But it's going to be Clem versus Firefly in a TVP. I know that I went for the 1-1 score. I know that much. I'm too much of a Firefly fan not to believe he can't at least take a game. I know that much. Now, the way this format works, it's a best of 7. Jump in the chat as we are diving into game number 1. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have for Team Liquid, Clem. And in the top right, we have for Offside, Firefly. Here we go. What universe am I in? Kira still made it a game. He did. Like, it was a very tense game 2 there between Kira and Rex. Hello, Shamsay. Hello. Firefly might win a game if they send someone to pull Clem's internet. I'm not so sure about that. Like, again, we have seen Clem fall to the Chinese Protoss players in the past. I'm speaking of Firefly, Cyan, and Jeshi. We have seen him drop maps before, but we'll see. We'll see if Firefly can get the 2-0. That's like the stronger claim here. As Clem is going to... Oh my god, he's opening up 2 racks. Okay, Clem gonna be spicing things up here in game 1. Going for a racks, not expand, but a 2 racks Reaper. So it's gonna be 2 racks Reaper here from Clem. Very aggressive build. Firefly is looking for proxy, so Firefly, he's aware that Clem does like to cheese at times in this matchup. We have seen him proxy Marauder quite a number of times as well. So Firefly checks the linear 3rd base before scouting across the map, making sure that Clem is not pulling a fast one on him, and he is, but not the way he thinks. Not the way he thinks here, as the probe is moving out. Meanwhile, Clem fully walls off as well. Firefly is in the dark here, and we are amassing Reapers. Reapers are amassing. Firefly still trying to get a read on this. He's checking the goal base. And it looks like he will get eyes on the SCV patrolling. There we go. CC is now on the way, so 2-rack Reaper into an expand. Ooh, did not see the base itself, but I think he saw a glimpse of the patrolling SCV. I think he saw the worker there. As Firefly backs off, you can see Clem is looking for the probe, trying to hunt it down with that Reaper. Did end up getting that first Stalker out initially here for Firefly. And you can see that more Reapers are on the way. Now these Reapers, they're designed to bust into a middle line to make no damage done. We have a 3rd racks on the way. Okay, so 2 racks Reaper into 3 racks from Clem. This does make sense on this map. Okay, so winding it back a little bit, we're loading into Dynasty. Dynasty has a gold pocket base, so with a gold base, bio-based aggression makes a lot of sense here for a Terran in TVP. Reapers dip in, it's 3 Reapers, no safety shield battery in the main. No shield battery, probes are going down. We do get 1. 2nd Stalker has arrived. Good target fighting there out of Firefly. But he will still bleed out a lot of probes. It's going to be 3. It's going to be 4 probes falling. 4 probes for 3 Reapers. Not the worst trade here for Firefly. Clem was hoping for more. He was hoping for at least a 1-to-1 trade. I mean, I guess he did. Did make a 4th Reaper. Now behind this is 3 racks. So the way this works is that we're going to be hitting a stim timing. There's going to be a very strong stim timing here from Clem. And if Firefly had opened Stargate, Firefly could just die. He could just die straight up then and there. Now, thankfully for Firefly, he opened up Twilight Council. He's going into Blink Stalkers as he shuts down the final Reapers. So again, 4 Reapers for 4 probes. Because it's Blink, Firefly, he has a stronger chance to defend against this. He can even punish across the map when mining these mineral gold, the mineral patches here, and we're going to be able to deny mining at the natural. Stalkers are in position, and Clem cannot mine. This is why Firefly did not expand at the gold. This is why traditionally or typically in this matchup you don't take the gold base, because it is so easy. It is so easy to deny mining. One Stalker is all you need. And because Clem did not open tank, I mean, he has no tanker position to protect that mineral line either, to outrange the Stalker. Now, Blink is not done, so we have to be careful. A very tight micro here from Firefly. Picks off some Marines. Gets an SCV. Going for additional warp ins. You can see Clem trying to make it there to the mineral line. Will bleed out a Marauder. Good control here from Firefly. Oh! Does pull back. And he has the high ground. Has the high ground here, shuts down the Marines, but the Marauders are packing quite a punch. Blink is done. Blink is now done, so is Stim, as Firefly does manage to blink away. Good control here from Firefly. Gets another Marauder, gets the final Marauder as well. And Firefly, he takes control of the base. He shuts down the army as well. He can blink over the wall, by the way. And Clem is out of position. Ooh, I think that was a bit of a misclick. Firefly blinking towards the right-hand side. Rotating around. Containing Clem to one base. And you can see Firefly knocking down that front door as well. Clem split between the bases. GG gets called immediately there as he knows the writing is on the wall. And Firefly takes game number 1. GG, Papi. GG. And again, I should emphasize something here. Even though I said that, mate, we've seen Firefly take maps off of Clem, we've seen him do it before, he's gonna do it again. I expected Firefly to take game 2, if any, right? Like, game number 2 is usually where Firefly thrives with his map pick, but Clem tries to be cheeky and he gets shut down. It wasn't just a 2-Rax Reaper. It wasn't just a 2-Rax Reaper that didn't really pay off. Remember, he traded 1-to-1 Reaper for Probe, which is not what you're looking for. On top of that, because Clem went to the gold, that was ambitious. That was ambitious. You could see how easy it was to deny mining at the gold base. All it takes is a couple of Stalkers, and to be fair, I say it's easy to deny mining. Firefly had some beautiful blink control. Like, his Stalker engagement with the stimmed Biomarine, or with the Marine Marauder was very impressive. He just completely picked apart that army, was able to shut it down, and as a result, deny any kind of mining at the gold. With that, there was no way for Clem to recover. He taps out. GG. Firefly takes game 1. Now I'm concerned for Team Liquid, because, again, in my mind at least, you know, if there was a way to bounce back, or if there was a way that this series would go, it would be Clem taking game 1 and then Firefly coming out with something crazy in game number 2. But now the turns have tabled. The turns have tabled here, and oh boy. The pressure is on. Now, this is Clem's map of choice. This is Clem's map of choice. He's going for Alcyone, a much more standard map, makes sense. And here we go in the bottom left-hand corner. We have Firefly for offside. Whew. Yeah, there he is. And in the top right-hand corner, we have Clem for Team Liquid. Let's go. Now, this map makes a lot of sense. Clem, he won't be tempted to go for any kind of spicy, aggressive build. Likewise, neither would Firefly. Alcyone, this map is known for having a really solid setup on 3 bases, for getting into a 4th base, or cutting the map in half, for the mid game, for the late game, for macro play more than anything. So basically, this tells us that Clem wants to calm things down. Clem wants to get into a standard game, wants to really showcase what he's made of and his strengths, which makes sense. Which does make sense. And this is going to be a tougher ask, a bit of a steeper hill to climb here for Firefly. Steeper mountain to climb even. Oh boy. We'll see. We'll see. Again, Firefly is the ace player of his team of offside. eBay block comes in. And Firefly is going to have to pull some workers. There we go. Does pull 3 probes, 4 in total, and he is 5 probes even, and he will be looking to cancel that eBay. So a nice little start for Clem. He does force some inefficiency here from Firefly. Does delay the expansion, does deny some mining time. What did it say? Hold on a second. okay, yeah. Because it's an eBay block, we do delay our expansion. It's going to be a Rax into factory, into delayed CC. But Clem has the option to be aggressive here. Firefly the GOAT. I mean, he's been a GOAT for a long time. Again, if you've been watching WTL, Firefly, he is the GOAT of World Team League. Like last season, even the season before that, all of 2023, there's a reason why at least us here on the CranKy Ducklings, we became big fans of Firefly last year. Big fans. As Clem is going for a 1-1-1. Okay, so it isn't just a delayed expansion, but quite a delayed expansion here for Clem. No CC yet. Going for the starport across the map. This is going to be for, I imagine, a medevac drop into the main. It could be one of two things. Either Clem is looking to go for a medevac to drop the Hellions into the main base, or going for a Liberator instead. And the timing of this natural is very suspect. Very suspect timing here. Firefly knows it's late. He knows it's delayed. Has to be for a reason. Can he piece it together as he's going for a proxy gateway across the map? Uh-oh. Gate is across the map. If he moves out, he won't have anything to defend back at home. That's what I'm most concerned about. And there it is. Medevac is on the way. So it's going to be for the Hellion drop. So Hellion drop into the main base. Remember, it takes 3 Hellions to one-shot a probe. And the Hellions do get spotted. Good movement there by Firefly, having control of the center of the map. He's aware that the Hellions are on the way, but I'm not so sure he's aware of the drop. As Hellions, they rotate over towards the right-hand side. They're going for the medevac. There is a Stalker in position. Firefly aware that there's potential for some aggression into the main. Firefly, such a good read, is here in the main base. Shuts down one of the Hellions, but there's still 3. And they get 2 probes. 2 probes, we get 2 more there towards the end. 4 probes in total, not bad. 3 Hellions, they do make it out. We do boost away. And we're going for more worker damage here in the natural. They line up, oh god! They did line up for a moment. 1 more probe goes down. 2 more. But the medevac is zoned away. 6 probes for 4 Hellions. But at least the medevac survives. I may have spoken too soon. Firefly coming in with the intercept. Can he catch the medevac? It's close. The okay. Medevac does pivot away. And you can see Firefly is punishing Clem right now. The Hellions are gone. We do deny any kind of mining at the natural. We have a tank on the high ground. But you know what? The tank is not on the low ground. We cannot mine from the natural whatsoever. Clem trying to reposition. Firefly is so quick to move out. Threatens a shade. And remember, there's no stim, by the way. These are vanilla Marines. No stim, no combat shields. The base getting very low. But the base does catch fire. Forced to lift. The medevac is tempting. It's so close to going down. We don't quite go for it. Oh, God. Don't quite go for it. We get another SCV. And Firefly backs up. Now, Clem, he finally takes control of his natural base, but it did cost him a lot. That was so much lost mining time there at that natural. You can see Clem not looking too happy. Hand off the keyboard there for a moment. Looking a little bit frustrated, but he's still not out of this. Again, thanks to that counter damage from Firefly, it makes up for his dead workers back at home, so he's able to recover. That's 4 gates. That's 5 gates. It's 2 base all in. 2 base all in out of Firefly. Instead of expanding and going for a third, we have 5 gates on the way. I believe that is 8 gates in total, so it's going to be 8 gate charge as a follow-up. It's all or nothing for Firefly. He's putting it all on the table. Oh, it's not just 8 gate charge. He has Immortals as well. 2 of them. Okay. So again, just 2 base all in here from Firefly. Ideally for Firefly, he fights in the center of the map. Ideally, he fights Clem out in the open. And Clem, does he move out? Okay, he's setting up at his natural, thankfully. He's setting up at the natural base. Some of the Marines have been spotted on the left-hand side. Firefly reinforcing. Warp Prism's on the way. As soon as the Warp Prism arrives, that's when we warp in. That's when we go for the kill. That's when we go for the throat. Ooh, as Firefly gets supply blocked. That's actually a pretty big deal. When we're all in like this, we cannot miss warp ins. So that will slow Firefly down. Sentries on the way. Zealots are coming. Charge is finishing up. Just as Stim finishes up as well, we have the Observer with eyes on the army. Again, 2 tanks on the low ground, no bunker. That's what's scary here. There's no bunker, there's no tank on the high ground, there's no Sim City. To protect those tanks, we on siege. Uh-oh. We do on siege. Firefly pulling the trigger, he dies on the army. Good force fields, insane force fields. We catch some Marines, the tanks are caught off guard. We do pick up. Good pick up there from Clem, does save the tanks, but he has lost control of his natural once again. A solid force field. Boys are being pulled. Yet again, Clem, we just cannot engage. Tank is on the low ground though, but we can just dive on top of the tank. It is going to get targeted down. Does get an extra volley off Zealots, they do rush in. And Clem, even if he holds here, he's going to lose everything here at the natural. 13, 14, 15 SCVs going down. Clem looking a little bit frustrated, a little bit disappointed there. Not happy about the game. Tank goes down, massive warping as well. GG gets called, and Firefly, the ace player of Offside, takes the 2-0. And we force the ace match. Let's go, Papi, let's go. Oh no, the production team. What's going on? There we go. Oh, he's drinking Macca's. Let's go. Powered by Macca's, mate. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. Firefly with the 2-0. Ace who? Clem who? Terran what? GG, well played. Again, Firefly is the one that Offside can rely on. Takes down Clem 2-0. And we have found ourselves in the ace match. Let's go. It's going to be the final game here. Game number 7. And the obvious pick, the obvious ace player for Offside is Firefly, right? This is the downside of this kind of situation, is winding it back a little bit here. Offside, the obvious choice is Firefly. So Team Liquid can kind of perceive that. They can assume that. Team Liquid have options. Clem might want his revenge. Clem might be upset and he might want his revenge. Or if he's a little bit tilted, Clem can be like, yo, I mentally, emotionally, I'm not ready for this. I can't handle fighting against this guy again. Cure, you step in instead, right? Cure can step in as another option for Team Liquid. Otherwise, specifically against Protoss players, does a laser or Skillus or Mana, do they feel confident against Protoss? Do they have some specialized builds for Golden Aura? That's the thing here, you know, like Team Liquid, they have a lot of options here because they do have a bit of a stronger lineup with some pretty hefty players. For Offside, I feel like it has to be Firefly. But we'll see. We'll see. They could catch us off guard. We could see, I don't know, like Mark Uthermal comes out. The YouTube man comes out with like a meme build on Golden Aura. Who knows? Who knows here? We'll see. We shall see. Uthermal, the ultimate swerve. That would be the ultimate swerve. Like, bearing in mind, Uthermal, he's also random as well. That would be a wild pick for the ace. Again, it has to be Firefly here. But who is it for Team Liquid? If you're in the chat, let us know. Who do you think? Because I think there are a lot of valid options for Team Liquid. Like, I think there are a lot of, like, good options for them that would make a lot of sense here. And there's no necessarily wrong answer for Team Liquid. The map is also important. Bear that in mind. We are loading into Golden Aura. It's a best of 1. It is a best of 1. She's that Clem needs his revenge. That's the thing, right? Like, does Clem feel like he has? Does he want his revenge? Maybe, but should he try to get his revenge? Right? Like, if you're too emotional, does that make you? Does that like cause you to make mistakes? Right? That sort of thing is something to bear in mind. Is Clem, of course, experienced enough to not have to deal with that? Like, is he fine? Is he cool as a cucumber? Can he like shake it off and just jump in anyway? We'll see. We shall see. Bearing in mind that nobody believed, at least in our Discord server, no one believed in the 2-0. You can see here was 33% in favor of 2-0 for Clem. 66 majority did predict a 1-1, but no one believed in the 2-0. No one had faith in the 2-0 for Firefly. But he pulled it off. He did it. Hey, he's the GOAT. He's crazy. He's cracked. Oh boy. I should have had more faith, Bobby. I should have had more faith. One camel versus the best Terran in the world. Firefly facial expressions. Like, he beat 5 World Class Terran already today. No biggie. I mean, to be fair, Firefly, he popped off at the end. He did pop off at the end for the 2-0. I have a feeling Clem vetoes that map. Possibly. For those who don't know, there are no vetoes in WTL, which is also like a big factor. I know what you're saying. I think you're saying that like Clem probably doesn't practice a lot on Dynasty. 100%. Like, Dynasty is one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool. But in WTL, you have to play on it. You have to play. All right, but here you go. Who is it? It's going to be Oh, it's the rematch. Let's go. It is, in fact, going to be the rematch. Kira's like, young papi, do you want me to come in? Clem's like, no. Step aside, Cure. Let me at him. Let me at him, papi. Let me back in. Here we go. If you're in the chat, predictions are going to be opening up. Predictions will be opening soon here, so you can place your bets. Firefly, he's going off to the bathroom. He doesn't even know who he's playing against right now. Firefly, he's in the bathroom. He's getting ready. I'm sure mentally preparing for Kior, but really it's Clem coming out instead. He's upset. He's angry, Papi. Or frustrated. You know, maybe that's more of it. And it all comes down to this. Oh, Firefly with a cheeky smile, Papi. Let's go. He's like, he wants more? He wants more of the Firefly? He's crazy. Who do we believe in the chat? I vote Skilless, Clem greater than all. That's what we have. Is WTL loses map pick? It is. But Ace Match is predetermined. Ace Match is predetermined ahead of time by the admins of WTL. There's like no vetoes or anything like that. Someone menu poke Firefly some more Mac is true. But yes, as Thorn is saying in the chat, map 1 is picked by the organizers. Oh, Clem. You see the face of a killer. He's ready for his revenge. Let's go. This is when Clem, he like proxy 2 racks or something. Oh no. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have Clem, the ace player for Team Liquid. And in the top left, we have the ace for Offside. It is Firefly. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Predictions are open for like another 30 seconds. Place your bets while you can, as predictions will soon close. Maybe oh, he wants them. True. What's on the line right now? Sure, it is the ace match, but also the Macca's Papi. He wants it. Get this man some Macca's. He's a growing boy. He needs it. For now, we're getting into our openers. Okay, let's calm down a little bit. We're getting into our openers here. Clem looks to be going for a Rax Expand, but we'll see if he takes the second Gas Geyser. Meanwhile, Firefly likewise going for a standard opener himself. Bearing in mind that every game so far in this quote-unquote best of 3, it's double gas by the way, aggressive build. But in this quote-unquote best of 3, we've seen Firefly go for a Twilight Council opener every game. I like this. I do appreciate the Twilight Council build, especially if you expect your opponent to be a little bit more aggressive in the game. It is a little bit safer here compared to a Stargate opener with Phoenixes. Meanwhile, Clem going double gas means he's going for a faster factory. Technically, this could lead into a 1-base all-in, technically, but I don't think Clem's that kind of player. Like, we've seen Gumiho go for 1-base all-ins. We've seen Oliveira go for 1-base all-ins. Not so sure if Clem is that kind of player. So for now, should be Rax into factory, into a delayed expansion. Meanwhile, Firefly across the map, getting to his own Nexus. So far, everything looking normal from our Protoss player. This could also be, as I mentioned, that Clem is going for a more aggressive build. It could also just be him being safe, like a little bit afraid of maybe his opponent going for a proxy or something of the sort. Could make either argument here. As we have the Reactor on the way, we have options to go for a Reactored Reaper with Hellions alongside it for some aggression. We could also go for like an add-on swap into Widowmine production for Reactored Widowmines, for earlier Widowmines for a Mind Drop. Could go for a Safety Cyclone. But I'm leaning more along the lines of Reaper Hellion. But we'll see. Reaper tries to dip in. Reaper gets forced out. We're getting to our 1-1-1. Going for add-ons. This is interesting. The factory doesn't make any units. We're going straight for the tech lab. Are we going for a Banshee open? Wait, no shot. What? It's not lined up for the add-on swap. We're going for fast tank. Tech lab is done. This is either fast tanks or an add-on swap here. Another tech lab on the way? Okay. Yeah, okay, it's add-on swap. Okay. So we're going for the add-on swap. This is Banshee, question mark? At least it feels that way. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be a Banshee-based opener here by Clem. Very committed. We're banking a lot on these Banshees. We're rushing into Cloak as we speak. Banshees are on the way. Now, Banshees are very uncommon in this matchup. They're not seen too often in TVP, but Banshees can get a surprising amount of damage. Because they're uncommon, as though we get the Scouts! No! We saw the 1-1-1. I believe Firefly saw the researching tech lab, which should be a tell. That Robo's on the way. Robo's on the way. That's going to be for the observer. That's going to be for detection. Big scout there from Firefly, and he should understand what he saw. He should be aware. He should be getting ready. I believe he also saw the tech lab on the factory. I think we're about to have a look at the vision. Not quite. Not quite here, but I believe we also saw the tech lab on the factory, so we should be aware of the earlier tank production as well. And honestly, from the side of Clem, this looks like a 2-base all-in. I think we've seen Beyond do this. Like, rush into early Banshee, into early tanks, into like a 2-base all-in where you pull the boys. We have seen that before, so I'm curious if that's the case here, just because these tanks are insanely early. Here we go. Banshee gets across the map. Towards the main. Shield battery gets done in time. Observer's in production as well. And the Banshee doesn't get much done yet. Firefly spinning up his units. Jab Cloak. Observer a little bit late to the party, but we do get on top of the Banshee. Oh, one more volley. Ooh, and the Banshee does barely survive. Whew. Does make it out in time. Here comes the push that we spoke about. A couple of boys are being pulled, but only a couple. But again, this is very aggressive. Very committed here from Clem. Again, we've seen this build where you pull every worker at the natural, but it looks like Clem is only pulling a couple of workers here. Maybe just for some light repair or for some Raxes. Raxes? What? Bunkers, I mean. SCVs go down. One of them at least. The push has been spotted. And has Firefly been too greedy? Has he been too greedy here? He got a third. Has only a handful of stalkers. He's trying to slow down the army, but the tanks are getting within range. And the tanks, they're going for the Nexus. They are barely out of range. Out of range of the base, but not of the army. Massive tank volleys go off. Bunkers on the way. The shield battery putting in a lot of work. But the base is still under fire. Another Banshee comes in to reinforce. Boys, they have to be pulled. We dive on top of the tanks. One tank goes down, so does the second, but we bleed out a lot of stalkers. And so many stalkers go down. Reinforcements on the way. Firefly in some trouble. He is buying time, though. He's dragging this army out of position. Remember, there's no stim. Remember, there is no stim with this. So it's difficult for Clem to really engage. Bunker goes down. Tank does siege. We collapse on the army. We get a full surround. Firefly, he cleans this up. He completely cleans this up. He does lose workers, but that is not worth it for Clem. Clem, he was looking... he's not looking happy there. Yeah, not looking happy. That was designed to kill the third. At least kill the third, maybe end the game. That is what we needed, and he gets neither. Oh my... Offside! Are they doing it? Offside, Papi. Here we go. We're going for the counter. We have siege. The tank gets caught out. First tank goes down. Tank is on the high ground. No bunker, by the way. No stim. 3 Marines. There's 1 Liberator across the map. Denying mining time. But Firefly has control of the natural. Again, it was so huge that Firefly was able to release scouts. Yeah, Clem not happy about the situation. I mean, the writing is a little bit on the wall here. Clem, to bounce back, he needs to clean up this army, he needs to harass across the map, he needs to somehow bounce back. Firefly so far ahead in workers. Ambitious dive, we get the tank though. Big pick off. Tank goes down. The Observer survives, no shot. The Observer survives as well. We focus on the Banshee. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. The man she got. Oh, we get it. Production. What? Mate, the production never holds back. They do this sometimes. They do it a lot to Oliveira as well. They're like, look at his face. It's devastating. We get it. We get it. Calm down, production team. Calm down. Ay, ay, ay. They like the despair. S the SC boy. But yeah, from here, Firefly, he's taking up 4th base. He's working towards Storm, towards Charge. Like the WTL production team, they don't hold back, Bobby. They don't hold back. Not against anyone. They're like, cry for the camera. Calm down. Calm down. We do catch the Observer in the main at least. Observer does go down. And Firefly is moving out across now, but he does spot the move out. Again, he has a 2nd Observer outside the natural, so he sees the army. Gotta be able to engage. As the army moves out, the prison moves in. Zealots into the mineral line, into the main base. SCVs are falling. Big warp in as well. As Clem gets forced back, we cancel the warp in, actually. Interesting choice. Do go for the cancel. Prison has to back up. But at least Firefly forces the army back. I think Firefly, with his Observer, he saw the army turn around, so he just cancels the warp in. Focuses his production back at home. Focuses on his 4th. Sorry, his 3rd. No, yeah, his 4th even. Storm is done, so we have Charge Lots, we have Storm, we have Stalkers. And here we go, Firefly. Now he's going for the kill. Remember, he has 4 High Templar in that War Prism. At least 4 Storms available, and he's going for it. Yeah, Storm of the Marauders. Oh my god, the Storms! We blanket everything there. Ay, 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 and with that, GG gets called. Firefly, he takes the 3-0 over Clem. He pops off. Oh my, he's crazy. Shuts him down. 3-0, GG, an offside takedown at Team Liquid in round 2. Very well done. He knocked his camera out of focus. Oh, we're back, we're back. We're back in focus, Papi. GG, well played. A flurry of blows. Firefly cannot be stopped. Congratulations. 4-3 over Team Liquid. Who would have thought? Again, I'm a massive Firefly fan, but even I did not expect this. Even I did not expect the 3-0 for Firefly. GG, very well done. Again, if you've tuned into WTL before, I mean, you've seen Firefly take down Serral. You've seen him take down some big names in the past. Firefly, he has been, if you, maybe this is your first time, maybe you haven't watched WTL before, maybe you haven't seen Firefly compete, but he is an amazing player, and he's honestly really good at this preparation format. He thrives and he looks the best in WTL, where you know your opponent ahead of time. I want to believe that Firefly puts a lot of work into like studying and like practicing and preparing for his specific opponent every single week, because WTL is where he just pops off like no other tournament. So GG, well played. I'm still waiting for Firefly to replicate the success in individual league formats. He didn't look too bad last season in EPT. In EPT Asia, Firefly, he made it to the finals, right? Firefly looked really good last season. This season, a little bit less so. Like Firefly, a little bit less successful this season. But that's really what we're waiting for. Waiting for Firefly to really pop off in these more like weekend tournaments where you have to come in like with the practice that you've been building up towards the past month or 2 months. You can't like prepare for your specific opponent or anything like that. It's a very different dynamic. You know, this is kind of like GSL in a way. This is more like a GSL format where you have time to prepare. So different players can rise, other players can fall. With that, GG, well played. And we're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be back in 3 minutes with our second series of the night with Team Vitality versus Platinum R8. See you soon.